You bought something, you look amazing in it, you're so excited to wear it again and again, only for it to fall apart after like 1 or 2 washes. We've all been there, and today I'm going to be talking about how to find quality regardless of price point, whether you are someone who likes trends, bold statement pieces, or timeless classics. Here's a secret that no one talks about enough, and that is that quality does not mean timeless pieces, investment pieces, and only classic silhouettes. Real quality is about fabric, construction, and longevity regardless of the style. So grab your little drinky drink. If you happen to be new here, I am Jordan Blackwell, JB for short, your sustainable materials bestie turned lifestyle content creator, helping you find quality at every price point to curate a wardrobe that you actually love. And I want to dive in with what actually makes a piece high quality. There are 4 things that you need to keep in mind if you are trying to find quality at any price point. And this is coming from someone who has fast fashion clothes from places like ASOS and Forever 21 that are 10 years old. This pair of pants I first wore in 2015. Still have them and look amazing even now. This pair of pants I also bought in 2015 from ASOS, still looking amazing now. And the thing that you really need to keep in mind is the fabric itself, the stitching, and then how the piece is constructed. So let's break this down. I have a checklist that I do like to keep on my phone to make sure that I'm understanding the fabrics properly and choosing quality material. First and foremost, you want to look for tightly woven materials. I've talked about this in a lot of my videos when I choose pieces, especially my shopping videos, because one thing that we forget is that our materials are literally woven together, and how tightly this weave is can impact how long your pieces will last. Anything that's a little more loosely woven is likely to rip, tear, and just break apart a lot easier. Plus, loosely woven items often pill faster as well. So if you are tired of taking your razor out to shave off those pills, try and lean towards tighter woven fabrics. Next is to truly understand the fabrics themselves, naturals versus synthetics. I know we're hearing so much discussion about polyester and it's cheap and it's weak and it's not durable, but fun fact, polyester was actually manufactured for parachutes, meaning that people would jump out of the sky and it would be durable enough to make sure they landed safely. So I say that because understanding how things are manufactured is so important. I won't dive deep in today because that's its own video, and if that's something you'd be interested in hearing me talk about, let me know in the comments below. But simply speaking, a lot of natural fibers do tend to be more durable, like cotton, linen, and hemp. However, blends can be very useful depending on what you need. If you are looking for anti-wrinkle, which is a huge selling point to polyester, if you're looking for things that are going to have more stretch and last longer, elastane is really important to have in your materials as well. So the big takeaway here is understanding the fibers that you personally like, the fabrics you personally like, and then also understanding how much you should be paying for those kinds of fabrics, right? Because not everybody loves the feel of wool, not everybody loves the feel of alpaca or certain polyesters, right? So the fabric itself is going to be personal, but understanding that natural fibers do tend to last longer and then figuring out which blends work best for your personal lifestyle is going to make a big difference in making sure those pieces actually last. The last thing when it comes to materials is understanding the different certifications, because so many brands now, especially as we are pushing towards sustainability, are trying to figure out how best to share that information with you. I know ASOS has their own sustainability line. H&M and Zara are actually trying to report out even the manufacturing process behind the raw materials themselves. So a couple of the ones you might want to look for, we've seen a lot of certified fair trade. You've heard me talk about the Better Cotton Initiative. If you are somebody wanting to buy from leather, the Leather Working Group has a very great system as well. And keeping in mind that a lot of these certifications require a third party to go in and actually evaluate these brands. A couple other ones you may not have heard: OEKO Tex, GOTS, Blue Sign, and FSC. Now, another note on these, those certifications are geared more towards sustainable practices from the manufacturing through the supply chain. However, they may not guarantee durability. I do want to make a note of that because there is a difference, and these certifications are important, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about why that should be your focus more so than where you're shopping later in the video. Next up is the stitching, and stitching plays a huge role into how well your clothes last, because how many times have you been in the fitting room? You've tried something on and instantly hear popping in the seams. You are seeing actually pieces fall apart. Not only does the style of seam make a big difference, but also the threads used. This is something that was so surprising to me working in sustainability, was that the thread choice does make a huge difference as well. And that's something that I really wish more brands were sharing, is they often share what the shell is made of or the outside of the piece, but don't dive into the threads. The couple of stitch styles that you want to look for that are truly durable are going to be double stitching, reinforced seams, and of course darting. I have talked about this in my shopping videos as well if you saw the new in try-ons, the Vici collection dress. But here are some other examples of what those seams look like so that you can understand what you should be looking for when you're shopping. And a sneaky trick, you've seen me do these in my try-on videos on my mall days, move in the pieces. Please do not take pieces home and not try them on. Please try them on, really make sure they're going to function, jumping jack, squat low, really move around, because you want to be listening for popping in the seams, you want to be looking for loose seams, and you want to be paying attention to how that is holding up to how you move. Because if there's any seams that feel like they're too tight or they're really struggling through those movements, that's a sign that that piece is probably going to break apart a lot sooner than you want it to. Now, I want to debunk the myth that expensive isn't always better. I'm actually going to do a deep dive video into this, but I think it's so important to touch on because we really have been bamboozled into thinking that luxury equals quality. But more and more as we understand the supply chain and where things are purchased from and the raw materials, I have learned that a lot of these luxury brands are getting their stuff from the same places, manufactured at the same places, and are just finishing them in nicer places. So that's the reason that understanding the fabric itself, the material itself, and some of the manufacturing processes can help you make better decisions about what you are paying that is actually quality versus what you are paying just for the brand name, right? Like, that's one of the reasons we are seeing this huge decline in the luxury segment, is because we are all having this honest conversation around what raw materials cost, what manufacturing, even at quality manufacturing, because the other conversation that is very nuanced is that all clothes are handmade. I really hate when brands try and use that as a selling point, because even at the sweatshops, even with child labor, those are kids. That's somebody's hands making those clothes. They are just being egregiously underpaid, if not paid at all. That's why it's so important when we are having these conversations to really get specific too when I'm talking about manufacturing and certain brands, because I'm never going to blanket statement and give general statements like, if it's made in China, it's inexpensive, because there are a lot of different manufacturing locations in China and not all of them have those practices. And the only way to change those practices is to get specific. If you are a regular viewer of my channel, you have seen that I rewear a lot of my pieces over the years. I have had items that lasted me a decade or more. And I share that a lot to show you that the brands that are affordable exist, even if they are considered fast fashion. And that's why it's so important to take your time understanding fabrics and understanding stitching and understanding construction. Like brands like Uniqlo, yes, they are fast fashion, but a lot of their technology in making the style of clothes that they do allows it to last much longer. So that's a huge takeaway I really hope that you are getting from this video. Also, we have seen over the years inflation and these brands marking up their prices and not keeping and maintaining the quality. I totally can acknowledge that, right? Like, there are some fast fashion brands that you could find quality at that you can't before, but a way around that, if you are trying to find affordable pieces, is to get back into thrifting, is to look into eBay, is to look into Poshmark, and not sleep on some of those older brands like a J. Crew or an older H&M, right? There are a lot of people, I know, I sell my own clothes on Poshmark, that do have those quality finds from brands that are mid-range, high-range, and of course fast fashion, but still have the quality that you're looking for and can last in your wardrobe. The other hill that I'm going to die on is that it isn't a competition between trendy or timeless, because the truth is, if we're having this conversation very candidly, getting rid of patterns, getting rid of colors, getting rid of prints, honestly is an erasure of a lot of cultures. And you do not need to choose between trendy and timeless. What you really need to understand is how to buy pieces, if they are your style, that are made to last. Whether it is something that's currently a trend that you know you're gonna wear beyond, or if you're somebody who likes classic silhouettes. And this is the perspective I take in all of my trend videos. It's important to know the trends because it can give you a way to shop more sustainably by understanding how to choose the right trends that are going to work for your personal style, that you're gonna be confident in, and that you're gonna love to wear, and then choosing the right pieces that will last so you don't have to buy 5, 6, 7, 8 trendy items. You can find that one pair of boots that lends itself to the trend, or you can find that jacket that really looks amazing. And that doesn't even mean having to buy brand new pieces. I talk about how you can upcycle pieces you own. You can also thrift from the thrift store. And it's really about prioritizing the material and the construction of the pieces. I cannot overstate this enough, even when it is a statement piece. Do not go and buy a cheap version that is not made well. Please buy a version that is at least made decently to wear time and time again, and especially making sure you're considering how you plan to wear this, not just for the current season, but beyond. Like, you guys know that I have a rule: if I cannot think about 5 ways I'm wearing an item with pieces I already own, it's not happening, okay? I'm either not buying it or it's getting returned. That is the principle as you are looking at trends versus timelessness that you should be considering. Do I see myself wearing this not just this season, but how do I see myself wearing this next season and next year as well? Just as important as understanding how to choose quality pieces, you need to be taking care of your clothes. And here are just a few very simple things that you can do that make huge impacts into how long your clothes are going to last. One, I have said this before, I will say it again, please have a good tailor on hand, okay? Whether it is somebody in your family, whether you have to find somebody, a tailor is your friend. I have had zippers repaired, I've had clothes taken in, I've had clothes taken out. I've also reconstructed entire pieces. I actually just picked up a pair of Coogi jeans from the Totally Rad thrift event that came here to the D, and I'm very excited because I plan to turn them into Bermuda shorts, but they are 7 sizes too big. So having a tailor that can help you alter your clothes, whether you put on a little weight, whether you lose a little weight, will help you to keep your clothes much longer and repair items when they need to be repaired. Next, I cannot stress this enough, follow the instructions on the tag. I know, we all see all these signs, we think it's gibberish, we think it's another language. It's not. It's actually really important if you want to keep your clothes for as long as possible, because sometimes your clothes break apart early or they lose their shape because you're not washing it correctly. And that is an honest conversation. Not everything needs to be in hot water. A very simple shift that I personally made that made a huge impact: washing my clothes in cold water unless hot water was necessary, and then air drying. It takes a little bit longer, sure, but the proof again is in the pudding. You have seen the pieces I've had in my wardrobe from fast fashion brands for 10 plus years. Please slow down. I know it's like second nature to just, ooh, hot water, let's go ahead and put all this stuff in here, but I am telling you, the cold water, the air dry, thank me later. Another small habit you've heard me talk about that makes a huge change: play dress up more often. So many times we approach our wardrobe and we just are not feeling the best about ourselves. And it might be because we saw somebody else styling something super cool. It might just be because we've either put on some weight, lost some weight. We just aren't feeling ourselves. But taking some extra time to get in the right mindset and play dress up with your clothes will help you to really see how you have way more options available to you. And you may not need to go and buy another new piece, but you just needed that inspiration, whether scrolling through Pinterest or again playing dress up, to really breathe new life and restyle the clothes that you own. I think this is such an important practice that a lot of us have lost because, of course, we're busy lives, all of that stuff, but really challenge yourself when you are feeling like you want something brand new to play with what you already own, because it's going to serve one very important role, and that is to better understand how to identify gaps in your wardrobe, like true gaps. There's a lot of times where we think we need something new and we actually have that piece in our wardrobe, and there truly is maybe one item here or there, like a pair of classic black pants, something like that, that can tie in a lot more looks that you may be missing. So the more that you are familiar with your wardrobe, the more you play dress up, the more you have fun and make this a fun process for yourself, the easier it's gonna be to be identifying the clothes that you like, the fabrics you like, seeing what's actually lasting and from which brands, and really learning how to maximize the wardrobe that you have and choosing better when you are looking to fill a gap in your wardrobe. I know with the rise of Amazon, Shein, Temu, and all of that, it really can feel like you cannot find quality clothes at fast fashion. I hope that this video showed you what you actually need to be looking for, because if you slow down, if you are pickier and understand the materials, the stitching, the construction, you will be able to find pieces that are affordable and will actually last you 9, 10, 12 years, especially if you take the time to take care of them, wash them in cold water, let them air dry, play around in your wardrobe so that when you are ready to purchase something, when you have done your research at the material, at the construction, you can make that purchase knowing that you are going to be buying better, buying less, and you know how to choose pieces that you're going to want to wear not just now, but years to come. And if you found this video helpful, I know you're actually gonna find my outfit ideas playlist video really helpful, because you're gonna see how much I rewear a lot of my clothes, how long a lot of my finds, fast fashion, mid-range, and luxury have lasted. Plus, of course, just get even more information on how to put together looks and curate that wardrobe that not just looks good, because of course you're gonna look good, but feels good and actually grows with you. But before you head over there, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Okay, let's keep hanging out over in this playlist.